Verne Bates feels the loud cry, the righteousness of Christ, is only partly true. The truth is, the righteousness of Christ is found in obedience to the law of God. Faith comes through our works, showing to this world that the three angels' message, which is the righteousness of Christ, that we are to come out of Babylon, remove ourselves from her unrighteous ways, get out of her apostasy and have no connection to her, is our message today, through those four angels' messages. By doing this, you show forth that the fourth angel's message and power is working in your life, and the latter rain is causing you to bear the fruits of doing this work. If you are not doing this work, then there is no latter rain falling in your life, and you need to examine yourself. If anyone is telling you that this work is future, they are liars and they are working for Rome. Rome does not want you to do this work because it exposes them and their god Satan. This is why the SDA-CHURCH, that is run by a bunch of Jesuits, claims the righteousness of Christ is later. This is why Nicholas Petula, Verne Bates, and so many others want you to stay quiet and think that this work is 2 to 3 years from now. They are clearly doing the works of Jesuits to destroy the work of God. Furthermore, Verne Bates insinuates this is not absolutely truth that is found in the three angels' message, which unites with the fourth. And thus Verne Bates is stirring up doubt in the minds of the listeners that this message of righteousness is only partly true. It is absolute truth that the righteousness of Christ is found in these four angels' messages. It is all the truth in that these messages that we are to come out of Babylon, apostasy, and do the works of Christ's righteousness, or die eternally in the end. And the power from heaven will come to us in this latter rain season today for these latter day people doing this work and standing in the message of the righteousness of Christ, and to proclaim it through our visible works and through our mouth, saying with a loud voice and declaring all four angels' messages. If you refuse to do that, you are not connecting yourself with God, and thus you are receiving no latter rain to do this work. This is why so many of the five foolish virgins today in their churches are standing idle. Next, Verne Bates and what he proclaims through his supposed original writings is also how this fourth angel will not come down in form until there is a sense of urgency. Well, looking at the world today, we can all clearly see the signs of the time proclaimed that we are at the very end of all things, and Sunday laws are about to happen. The world has been in a sense of urgency to proclaim the loud cry through the offered latter rain, from the conception of understanding these four angels' messages to do the works of Christ's righteousness and depart from unrighteousness. We are not to wait 2 to 3 years from now to do this work. It is now. They've been saying do not do this work since 1888. And anyone who will listen to the mouths of Babylon is going to be in big trouble with the Lord when he returns, and you'll be found as an unfaithful servant. This message has been proclaimed even in the time of the pioneers, but for the SDA-GC Church that is run by a bunch of Jesuits, they rejected the Holy Spirit in 1888 Minneapolis meeting, who was to lighten the earth with God's glory through the children of God who would take on the work of presenting Christ's righteousness to a sinful world, as Ellen G. White and the pioneers did in receiving the early and latter rain, and they produced the fruits that God and these messages were working with them. And we are to carry on this work today. This is not some future event. This takes place the moment you understand these messages. So here you have Verne Bates doing the work of a trained Jesuit deceiver.
You know, Elder Bates, I've been wanting to do this study with you about the loud cry message for some time. And I was wondering, we're going to video this thing and share it with some other folks as well. But I was wondering if you would give us a study on the loud cry message. What is it? Who is it for? How did it get started? How come we're just hearing about it? It comes out of the Bible. And how come it is that we're just really kind of, I guess, of late learning what it's all about? I say of late.
Apparently, the current teaching is that it's the message of righteousness by faith. Now, we feel that this is partly true, but there are other things involved in the angel of Revelation 18 that we're not really getting the truth on. And
that's the angel of
Revelation,
the loud cry messenger.
The loud cry message. We call it the other angel.
The fourth angel.
The fourth angel. There's actually a quotation in number 27 of the Testimonies that speaks about the form of the fourth will be with you when there's an emergency or whatever it might be. The form of the fourth. Well, we know Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were cast into the fire.